Hi, I'm Ian Whited, and I'm going to take you on a geographic journey through Big Bend. We're going to visit Big Bend Ranch State Park and Big Bend National Park. We're going to experience various forms of flora and fauna, along with seeing a few canyons such as Fresno, Ernst Tanaja, and Santa Elena in these two parks. We're here in the very edge of the Solitario, Flatirons at Big Bend Ranch State Park, and we're at the very edge where we were seeing contact metamorphosis from a batholith that was coming up from underneath.
What is contact metamorphosis, Ian?
Contact metamorphosis is when you have the material that's below the igneous rock that's been heated up to the point it starts to metamorphose. So this was originally shale, and now it's metamorphosing into marble. And you can see the layering is gone, and when you hit it, it's pretty tough stuff. If I had some shale with me right now, you'd be able to see how soft a normal shale would be. It's still made of the same material, it's just been partially melted and creating a new rock. So that's what we're seeing right here.
So what's going on in terms of the layers, the layering and uplift here?
Well, what we had is a batholith about a mile that way. Came up a couple million years ago, I don't know exactly how long ago, and it started pushing up these ancient seabeds. And this was all not terribly deep ocean since it's all shale, and it would push up all this material at the same time, heating it up and causing it to metamorphose. So at some point this was part of the Western Central Seaway, or the Western American Seaway. It's got different names, and it was a seaway that would run from the Gulf of Mexico all the way up to about Washington State. So this is one of those areas that has been pushed up, but it hasn't burst like a volcano, so it's just been heated. Yep, that's marble. Shaves right off.
What is it?
Marble. You can see. It scrapes real easy. The blade of a knife. Just doesn't seem to want to break very easy. So this is about, well, you can see the warping down there too, where the batholith is causing this to all bake and turn into this marble here. And it's been baked so much you don't even see the layers anymore. So you have this very distinct break from metamorphic to sedimentary. There. And it's all calcium carbonate. And you can see it's real easy to erode just from this stream here. Oh, when the sediment comes down, you have this big rock that came in. And you kind of see where its weight pushed down on the layers below it. Not very thick, a couple inches. And then you can see how the layers thinned out on top of it and then start to get thicker. So you have this block of rock, I'm not sure what it is. You have the marble here, where it was getting baked completely metamorphosed. And this comes from about here. And that's just where the shale wasn't quite hot enough to completely turn to marble. And then pieces like that big one there. And this is the original material before it metamorphosed. So, order. Metamorphosed, semi-metamorphosed, and original sedimentary. Still here in Big Bend Ranch State Park, and we're looking at some features on the side of these hills here. What we're seeing here is from pyroclastic flow, we've got a green tuff that has a lot of copper in it. And it's only green on the surface because that's where the copper actually oxidizes. If you look further, you can see some really deep green layers with more material on top, such as sandstones, limestones, and the like. At the very top we have a sandstone. But you can see these cracks that are filled in, and those are igneous dikes. They've been filled with intrusive magma from underneath and just cooking, making materials like marbles and quartzite. We're at Big Bend National Park. Over here is the Rio Grande River, or Rio Grande. Up here is the Santolina Canyon. And it's about 1,500 feet high. You could fit probably 3 of the Tower of the Americas in here. And what you can see here is the cliffs are made of limestone up here. And this cold water has come through and cut down to make this canyon. And you can see at these lower areas where there's terracing that there's shales. Shales will erode faster than limestone, and it will create these more gradual slopes as opposed to the cliffs up above us. Now down here we have all the eroded material from way upriver that has been transported down here during flood seasons, during rains, situations like that. And eventually this will compact and turn into things like conglomerates. And further down, way further down, it's finer material that'll turn into sandstones. So this is a Santolina Canyon, Big Bend National Park. We're here at the Santolina Canyon, and you can see on this rock here we have fossil oysters embedded here. From this we can surmise that this was an inland ocean 100 million years ago in the Cretaceous period. That's during the Mesozoic, when dinosaurs were alive. Here at Santolina Canyon, we're seeing some examples of mass wasting behind us. Mass wasting is where you have materials that have been lifted up and they fall back down. So when you have undercutting, like from a river, like the Rio Grande, it cuts under the limestone, loosening up any support that the material has. So this material becomes too heavy for the support underneath and collapses. And you have these huge, several 100-ton blocks that have fallen from as far up as all the way up at the top. So several hundred to 1,000 feet, just falling straight down here. It's a form of mechanical erosion on a very large scale. We're at the window in Big Bend National Park, and it's at the top, or part of the Chisos, and it's an erosional feature that all the material that comes through here causes mechanical erosion and creates this high gloss through this small hole called the window. Coquillas Canyon, Big Bend National Park, and behind us, on the Mexican side of the Rio Grande, we can see a fault in the limestone cliffs. And you can see one side has moved up as opposed to the other moving down. So we can surmise that one side has been thrust up and possibly the other side has either fallen or remained stationary. Here, and all you can really make of this place is that it's an alluvial feature that's been cut through shales. Now we have these pure shales down here, and then we have more limey shales, which are an indication of transgression of the ocean towards the shore, or towards the inner United States, towards the west or the east. Scraping this rock with a steel knife shows us that we're standing on marble. And we're still in the Ernst & Aha. So that tells us there was some sort of heating and probably uplift that caused the warping of these shales. This is a Sailajadelaford. It's not actually a fern, it's related to lycopods, a very ancient order of plants. They're one of the earliest vascular plants on the earth. They evolved about 400 million years ago, before the Carboniferous and the Devonian. And what makes them so special is that they're extremely drought tolerant. Some of them can go dormant for as many as 50 years waiting for water. And as soon as they start getting water, these clubs start rolling out and it starts producing spores again in order to increase its population. Test 1, 2, 3. Along with very. Okay.
Just do it again.
I know. Okay. Erosion, polish, water. Erosion, polish, water. Oh, that's going to bring stuff. Mary had a little lamb.
I can't drive and do this at the same time.